You probably came here wondering what happened after the pandemic and where are we going? Because things that used to be easy for us are now hard. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. You know, not that long ago, right after COVID lockdowns, you could sell anything. Wait. Forget the word sell. You could clerk anything. In fact, if you had anything in stock, you could sell it. The country was awash in stimulus money. People were locked at home. They're looking around, looking at their shabby home furnishings, looking at their horrible office, thinking, I could use a new TV. And they bought, and bought like never before. And a lot of people are looking around saying, hey, what happened? Well, a couple of things happened. One, we clawed back all of that future demand for the next couple of years. So if you were really busy, 2023, 2024, you probably were dragging your sales from 2027, 26, 25, and you were getting them. And that was wonderful until it stopped. I used to have an employee, and he was really good with people who were going to a benefit. There was a big benefit that was going to be held across the street, and starting about 3 weeks out, he could outfit people to look like $1 million. I mean, they loved him, he loved them, it was amazing. That was his niche, he did great, right? And so the next day he comes in and he can't sell anything. And one of my guys just starts going, the party's over. He was so upset. And it's like, well, yeah, you really didn't sell. You were able to just put stuff in front of these guys and push their needle, and they bought. Now you're gonna have to sell. Well, that's where we are today. That you probably had a great training program. You probably went through and practiced, and you had people understand how to sell. You had veteran employees seasoned. A lot of them have left. They got older, they have a side hustle, they moved, any number of things. You probably also lost a lot of the support that would have helped that culture grow, right? With trainers and with learning and development directors. You probably also have warehouses full of merchandise, and because of that, you ended up not really having to have your crew understand it as much as what was in stock. So here's how to get over that, is you have to start from ground zero, which is, why do we need training to begin with? And if you ask that question, well, because we can see that if we train people more, we sell more. Okay, awesome, great, good for you. Then what does success look like that you think makes that happen? And I can tell you, in having been the retail doc for 30 some years, you're welcome, I know, he looks so young. I know. But having done that you have to take a shopper who comes in tentatively, right? They're coming in, they're looking, and they're trying to decide if they want to buy anything. They're in awareness though. They know they want something. Maybe not know exactly what it is, but they're kind of curious, right? So they come in, they want to discover something. That's the second part. They're actually trying to figure out, do I want this? Can I see myself owning this? Your employees should be building rapport to earn the right to sell it, so that's great. Someone lands on an item, they can tell them why this benefits them, not just what this product has, and then they can also close it and add on, right? So that's the system that has to happen, and then ultimately if they follow up well enough, you get the customer to come back one more time each year. That's what it looks like. We forgot that. We're just happy anyone walks in the door and the owners are like, did I get money in my jeans at the end of the month? Great. But that system is what makes your store work. It's also what gives your employees a path to promotion, because I'm really good at selling, so then you give me additional responsibilities as my key holder or assistant manager, and then that person gets to be a manager and then an area manager, right? We all understand that. But I think what happened during COVID is we lost that desire to connect. We lost the curiosity about somebody. Why today are they walking in the door? And what that does is it throttles down them being personable. So they can be aloof, they can go on sites and talk about how horrible it is to work in retail and what an idiot this customer said and isn't it horrible, and they can devolve into this beast that, you know, lives in retail but doesn't flourish in retail. To flourish in retail, you got to be curious. I'm going to tell a story that I tell in every one of my keynotes. By the way, I'm a motivational speaker in addition to an owner, author of several books, and YouTube persona here on my channel, which, by the way, if you haven't, subscribe above. And I have an offer down below I'll tell you about in a minute. But you got to be curious. If you start your day with curiosity, well, let me tell you what happened. So it's the week before Christmas. I'm selling cowboy clothes. You're welcome. Picture me in cowboy clothes. And there's a guy all the way at the right side as I approach the store, and he's in a new goatskin jacket. Now, goatskin leather looks like plastic when it's brand new. As it gets older, it gets little wrinkles in it. That's why it's a very expensive leather, very exclusive. I was going to say normal person, but someone that wasn't working in leather would dismiss that jacket. But I knew my brand. Side note, know your darn brands, what your customers are wearing. So somebody wears a country club, know the insignia, know the bag, know the brands that your women and guys are carrying so that you can be confident with that. But anyway, I see it, I'm like, that's how I'm going to talk to this guy. So I go to unlock, turn the key and the big doors are going up and I just tell him, hey, good morning. And he says good morning back to me. I go, feel free to look around while I get the lights on and I'll be right back. So I go and I turn the lights on. I quickly get out there. He's looking at a pair of Tony Lama boots, 5084. I don't know why I still remember that, but I do. It's about a $150 boot. It's perfectly satisfactory. And I just say to him, wow, that's a nice goatskin jacket you've got. Was that a gift or did you buy that yourself? Let's unpack that. I said I'm an equal because I knew it was goatskin. Not it's a nice jacket, it's a nice goatskin jacket. And he was like, oh. And he goes, well, thanks. I bought it for myself. And I said, it's always nice to treat yourself. I just bought the Scully jacket for myself. My goal, 10 years in a row. True story, I still had it on. And I go, well, what did you buy it for? He goes, well, the book that I wrote just got optioned for a movie. Have you ever heard of The Hunt for Red October? My name is Tom Clancy. I'm like, okay, amazing. And we continued to talk through the sale, and he bought a pair of $1,000 cowboy boots, ostrich, and paid cash. Do you think I ever would have known that guy was standing there? I guarantee you not. Tom was a pretty average looking guy. He just passed a few years ago. Nice enough guy. And he'd come back, he's pretty big in the 80s, and he would come back, and 90s, he would come back to my store to celebrate. That's a bond that you can't just take for granted. It's a bond that only happened by being curious. So when we're talking about what happened to my sales staff over the last 6, 7 years, we lost curiosity. We lost the wonder. Why did that guy walk in my door today? What changed in his life? One of the things I like to say to people is, what changed in your life to make you come in today? And they're like, oh, nothing. You're like, oh, think about it. Well, I do want to go to this movie tomorrow night, and I'm looking to be on a new date. Like, okay, cool. That's all I need. I go, it's always nice to treat yourself when you're going on a new date, Guys, we don't have so much. You can get a shirt, pair of pants, women can get all kinds of things. We get to have a watch. I think that's our other thing. We get to have a watch that we're allowed to have. So how fun is that? And you can be in that shopping moment with her going to this movie. The day goes easier. It's quicker. It's more fun. You're not sitting around like, so slow. Can I go home early? Which, by the way, we've heard a lot of, or call outs, because it's boring. It's not like it's physically hard work. But if you want to be in retail, and I encourage you to be in retail because there is a path in retail. I know plenty of people making over $100,000 a year selling stuff to people in a retail store. Could be making kitchen cabinets, it could be flooring, it could be apparel, it could be home furnishings, you name it. They're loving life. But if we don't give the chance to say, but the goal of success here is you being curious and listening and connecting those dots in your head, I think you pretty much have a bunch of people who could end up being just punch in the clock and do the bare minimum. So they say, can I help you find something? No, I'm just looking. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be over here. Thanks. And then they disappear. I don't want that for you. Because when I meet people, I want them to feel like they're the most important person in the world. And if I do that, then they give me that respect back. And it works back and forth. That's the goal of it. And more importantly, this is based in America, but all we hear is people are so divided. Yeah, that's the media telling us we're so divided. I don't think we're that divided. Look at after a disaster. People come together to say, how can I help? That's who we are. But the things that make a community, those gossamer, that really fine thread between two people, that little moment that's curious and respectful and says, you matter. For the next 5 to 10 minutes, you matter to me. And when you give them that respect, they give it right back to you. And now you can tell the stores that are doing that well because there's chatter, there's people having fun. I am known when I'm selling to probably giving you a hard time about something just because it's funny and I can make you laugh, especially if I'm working with a couple and I can go through and play with the guy and just get him to feel like, yeah, well, you're just cheap anyway. Isn't he cheap? Yeah, he's always cheap. Good. So for the once in your life, let's elevate it and be like her, right? And he can laugh and she can laugh without being mean. We're just playing here. We're just playing. So to go all the way back, why did things happen? Because we aren't playing, because we forgot how to train. More importantly, as survivors, I guess, of COVID, we have let curiosity go, and that's a shame because humans want to connect. We want to come together. We come to a brick and mortar store to say what's new, and more importantly, to meet someone to lift us up and make them feel comfortable, make them feel confident. Dare I say make them feel loved, but don't take that the wrong way. Anyway, if you do that, when you go back and you look at your organization and say, what can we do better? We have to go back and say, we got to go back to square one with what does success look like? What do we want our customers to feel? How do we have to train that? How do we go through and give that feeling and then hold our employees accountable? Obviously, I think you should be working with me and my online training Sales RX because we make that easy. And I have an offer for you down below. If you have a store over $1 million, you want to have a strategy call with me, I'll help you get clear on your ideals, what's possible and what isn't. Maybe you want to work with me, maybe you want to do some other things, but you can get on that call. If you're under $1 million, got plenty of blogs online and also a lot of videos you can watch, as well as 3 books you could check out. And don't forget, all of you should be able to subscribe to me. But remember, what we really lost is innocence with COVID, that wonder of, gee, I wonder what the day's gonna hold for us. Capture that in your heart again. It's there, you can do it, and you're gonna find that life goes easier, and more importantly, your employees like working for you, and you become the employer of choice instead of just somebody else to go work at the mall. Let's get to it. I'm Bob Phibbs, the Retail Doc.